When Kapil Dev was photographed lifting the trophy in 1983, he wasn't just a captain. He was the architect of a new Indian identity. That single victory turned him into a national icon, his face on every television, his name synonymous with the integrity of the game. But by the late 1990s, the purity of the sport was being dismantled. Investigations exposed a global network of players and underground betting syndicates, revealing that some of cricket's biggest moments had been scripted in advance for cash. The scandal reached India in 1997, when Manoj Prabhakar gave an interview that shattered the nation's trust. He claimed a teammate had offered him 25 lakh rupees to underperform in a 1994 match against Pakistan. When Prabhakar finally named Kapil Dev as that teammate, the reaction was immediate and visceral. Riots broke out, effigies were burned in the streets, and the Gujarat government even ordered the removal of Kapil Dev's story from school textbooks. This left the Central Bureau of Investigation with a near-impossible task: conducting an objective, evidence-based inquiry into a man who the entire country had already convicted in their hearts. To build a case, the CBI had to move past public outrage and categorize the evidence. They began with the testimonies of the men who were actually in the dressing room when the alleged bribe took place. Prabhakar pointed to teammates like Navjot Singh Sidhu as witnesses to the offer, but the legal process quickly stalled. When faced with official questioning, those same witnesses began changing their stories or claiming they couldn't remember the details of the encounter. The investigation was at a complete standstill until the news outlet Tehelka launched a massive sting operation, sending journalists into hotels with hidden cameras to record the players in private. Away from the CBI's microphones, the tone changed. The undercover footage captured players and officials privately discussing Kapil Dev's involvement in the fixing ring, conversations they would never repeat under oath. Beyond these contradictory accounts, the CBI began looking for patterns on the field, specifically tactical decisions that seemed to defy the basic objective of winning. During a 1999 Test match against New Zealand, India was positioned to crush their opponents. Yet, as the team's coach, Kapil Dev unexpectedly refused to enforce the follow-on, allowing the match to drift into a draw. Tactical errors happen, but the CBI found a detail that suggested something else. Illegal bookies appeared to know that the follow-on would be refused a full 24 hours before the decision was actually made. These illogical decisions on the pitch and the hushed admissions in the sting operation created a heavy cloud of suspicion. But for a criminal conviction, the CBI needed to find the money. The most difficult questions for Kapil Dev weren't about his coaching. They were about his bank account and a series of high-value acquisitions that had no clear source. During a separate raid on a bookie's home, investigators found a diary listing the initials KD next to a sum of 1.33 crore rupees. 83 lakhs of that amount were listed as untraceable cash. Then there was the matter of a luxury BMW. Kapil Dev explained that the car was a gift for a modeling assignment in South Africa, commissioned by a man named Ibrahim. But the CBI found no contract, no photos of the shoot, and no trace of Ibrahim or his business. The patterns repeated with a 100-acre land deal. Kapil obtained the property at a massive discount, but when the CBI tried to find the original seller, the man had seemingly vanished. Most concerningly, the legal documents for this land weren't even in Kapil Dev's office. They were seized from the office of Karan Dubey, a man already under investigation for match fixing. Investigators were left with a series of expensive assets tied to people who didn't exist and missing contracts that were never signed. But despite the mounting inconsistencies, they were still missing the one piece of evidence required to make a case stick in court. In October 2000, after years of raids and interviews, the CBI finally submitted its findings on the state of Indian cricket to the sports minister. The report produced enough evidence to end several high-profile careers. Mohammad Azharuddin was banned for life, and Ajay Jadeja was removed from the game. But despite the diaries, the secret recordings, and the missing sellers, Kapil Dev was officially cleared of all charges. To understand why, look at the legal barrier between circumstantial evidence and direct proof. You can have a mountain of financial questions and illogical decisions. Collectively, they look like smoke. But the CBI could not find the fire. They could not prove with mathematical certainty a specific payment was given for a specific scoreboard result. The justice system doesn't operate on what is likely, it operates on what is proven. In the eyes of the law, the most suspicious man is still an innocent man if you cannot connect the money to the crime.